Hello students. In this problem we're going to find the inverse of this rational function. So we begin by first writing it as a curve y equals the ratio of x minus 1 over x plus 2. And then we're going to rewrite that expression by interchanging the x and the y. And then we're going to solve for y. And that should get us to the inverse function. All right, so now remember we're solving for y, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply both sides by y plus 2. When I do that, the y plus 2's are going to cancel on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side I'm going to distribute that x into the quantity y plus 2. So I distribute the x on the left hand side, and you see that I have a y times x and a 2 plus a 2 times x, and on the right hand side the y plus 2's cancel. So now remember, we're trying to solve for y, so we need to isolate y. So that means I'm going to factor out that x on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, I'm going to move that y over to the left-hand side. So I do that in the next couple of steps. So I subtract 2x from both sides, and that isolates the yx on the left-hand side, and then I subtract y from both sides, and I end up with yx minus y on the left-hand side and a minus 1 minus 2x on the right-hand side. So in other words, I have all the expressions involving y on the left-hand side and all expressions involving everything else, not including y, on the right-hand side. So I'm going to rewrite that last step over here on the right-hand side, and I'm going to highlight the y's there. I'm a little sloppily. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out that y. Now keep in mind I have a yx, okay? So when I factor out the y, I'm just left with x. That minus y, you can imagine that there's a 1 there. So when I factor out the y there, I'm left with a minus 1. All right, and then I finish up by dividing both sides by x minus 1. And I've isolated y. And that is my inverse function, which I'll write here up at the top, and I'll box it in. So the inverse function, that will undo this function f of x and just isolate the argument x, is given by this rational expression, minus 2x minus 1 over x minus 1. Now to check your answer, what you could do is you could plug in f of x, you could substitute it into f inverse of x, and you should obtain x. In other words, if I take the rational expression x minus 1 over x plus 2 and I substitute it in to the inverse function, as I've done here, that should all cancel out and simplify to x. I'll leave that to you to do. All right, good luck.